Hi friends. So in the last lecture we have learned the procedures, how we create the procedure. In this section we learn how we can execute a procedure and how we can drop a procedure. So in the last one we have created these two, emp count and the employee count. These two procedures we have created. We will drop one of them, or we'll execute first, then we'll see that how we can drop the. So for executing we'll write it as begin, then the name of the procedure which you have created, employee count, then semicolon, and then the end. So this is compiled in the PLSQL block. When you want to call the procedure, it could be executed in the PLSQL block. And another way you can call this the procedure by calling it in another procedure. So if you want to call this employee count procedure in any other procedure, then you just just need to write the name of the procedure, which is employee count, in that procedure, and the procedure will get called from that. So first we'll learn that how we can execute, or we can call this one. So in this way, when I execute this, so now you can see that PLSQL block is successfully completed. So this is now run. When the last time we have executed, at that time it was compiled, and now it's run. We have run this, and we can find that the employee count is 9. So there are 9 employees in the employee master table, which it has returned, and the block has been called up, or I would say that we run this, and it has returned the desired output to us. So I hope this is clear to you, that how you need to call a procedure when you make a, how you will call a procedure when you will write it down. So, and the another syntax is how we can drop a procedure. So for dropping a procedure, we have the command drop, then we'll write the procedure as we have written the keyword key procedure in the create or replace. In the same way, we need to write it down in the drop command also. So drop procedures, we'll drop this emp underscore count, as we have the duplicate two. We have two duplicate procedures, so we don't need any of one. We can delete, it's our choice. So I would drop this procedure, clear the output, then so now you can see that the procedure amp count is dropped. When you will refresh this, this will not be here. So this has been removed from there. So employee count is no more a object into the database. It has removed from your database, and it is not present there in your database. So this is how we execute the block and we drop a procedure. So when you write it down and you want to see that what is the result the procedure is returning, then you need to write this block begin, and then calling this executing, or I would say calling this procedure, and then end. And we can write the exception also. This is the full PLSQL block. We can write that if there is any exception not handled inside the employee count, then it will go to your exception part. So this is also one thing you need to try it yourself, but I'll explain you in a bit that in the employee count, if I go to this employee count, we have handled the exception. When others, then it will return to you that exception occurs. But if you have not handled this part and the exception would come, then it will go to the exception part of the block where you are calling this. You can try this in your example part. So you can write it there, that exception dpm is output. I'll copy this from here. So exception occurs in in outer PL SQL block. So when you'll compile this, it would be compiled. We have not write any of the exception name, so it's giving us the error. I'll remove this command drop procedure, or I would comment it down so that it would not execute again. And again we have here, then we forgot. I hope it will compile now. So now you can see it's compiled. So we'll see this exception also. If you want to check, we need to introduce here an exception. How we'll introduce the exception? By multiple count, or so we'll do this practice in the further section. You need to write it down yourself, but I hope you can understand that if the exception is not here, if the exception is entered in the procedure, then it will go to this part and will return this. But if it is not handled here, then it will go to your this part, the block part, and will return this exception. So this is how we call the procedure and we drop the procedure. In the next section, we'll write our parametric procedure in which we'll pass the in parameter and then fetch out the result. Thanks.